Exxon enjoys be damned, because today we'll be heading into Sunken Plant Zone. Probably my least favorite zone in both versions of Mystic Realm. Not because it's hard or the fact that it's a water level, but because I just find it kinda boring. At least Act 1 in RCE is pretty short if you're just going for the level. It keeps the conveyor belts from the original, but you now also have to deal with snailers, buggles, fans, and these new crawler types that will constantly emit shockwaves. After the second checkpoint, there's a button you can press that opens up the passageway to the last keystone. I have no idea how you could possibly reach it as a character that can't fly, but it'll be way off to the right behind the Grey Ruins. For some reason, the sector that the keystone is in has a current effect that will kinda leave you stuck in place, so you may have to pick up some speed or approach at an angle when grabbing it. Of course, don't forget you're still underwater, so make sure to pick up the bubble where the Grey Ruins are. And thankfully, you don't have to wait for the bubbles like usual. In this mod, they're stuck to the ground and will always be available to collect. Definitely makes this zone less of a hassle. Act 2 is almost entirely underwater, so you're immediately presented with an elemental shield. There are still bubbles around in case you lose it, but I recommend holding onto it for dear life. Though that won't be an easy task thanks to two new enemies, the Bouncer and the Beamer. The Bouncer bounces around while dealing no damage to you, but it often pairs together with the Beamer to act as the target for its laser. Aside from those, the skins will be more apparent in some sections, and the dilapidated crawlers will mostly be over electrical floors. There's also a dead time at one point, but I'm fully convinced it's just there to be a dick, since the zone is also pretty dark and it appears right after you walk past the safe spot. The shrine is located right behind where the second checkpoint is, in the hallway full of mines. You can enter and exit from either side, and you can pick up an elemental shield in case you lost it earlier or lost it when dying. There's this section right before the third checkpoint I really hate, in which you're required to jump to 3 really thin platforms, while 2 skims are on your ass, all over an electrical floor. But after that is basically the end of the level. There's a gravity monitor you can access that'll lead to a secret, but it doesn't seem to amount to much anymore. Just a measly ring monitor. Nitric Citadel keeps the acid gimmick, but it doesn't come into play as much in MRCE. In OG Mystic Realm, it just damaged you unless you had an elemental shield, but in MRCE, it drains your rings and then kills you once you reach 0. There's not much I can say about this level otherwise since it's somewhat bog standard, but I will say that the direction isn't good in some sections. Like, I tend to get lost a lot when I take the path I didn't take in this video. The boss for Sunken Plant in MRCE is actually very unique and interesting. Phase 1 starts off by having us get rid of the hands in each corner of the arena. They'll be shielded for a little bit before they're vulnerable to attack, but you can't stick around one of them for too long or else they'll start shooting a flurry of projectiles at you. And since the Poseidon Core is shooting at you as well, you'll have to make constant laps around the room since each hand takes 2 hits to kill. Once you get rid of all the hands, you'll be able to attack the Poseidon Core directly using the set of platforms that rise up off to the sides. It uses the same attacks and it will take 4 hits to kill, so it won't be much longer before the boss goes down. Bring us to the next zone, Aerial Garden. See you then, folks.